Hey, what's going on, you guys? And welcome back to Mindshift Monday. Welcome back to Mindshift Monday. This is done with intention, and we are truly in the middle of a beautiful and I would say an auspicious awakening process for humanity, whether it's spiritually, economically, whatever, however you want to place it. So, welcome back to Mindshift Monday because this is where we are innovating our awakening process and our connection to the world around us. So, today we're going to be breaking down a complex topic, diving into the intricacies of U.S. aid to Israel and how and why the war started anyway. All right. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The United States has a long-standing relationship with Israel, one of its major non-NATO allies, providing them with privileged access to advanced military platforms and technologies. This aid has come under greater scrutiny during Israel's ongoing conflict with Hamas in Gaza, where more than 34,000 Palestinians, including many civilians, have died, according to the United Nations and the Gaza Health Ministry. And of course, we've seen this on the news, all across social media. So it's not, some facade. This is real. First, let's look at the numbers. The U.S. has provisionally agreed to provide Israel with 3.8 billion per year through 2028. Since the start of the recent conflict on October 7th, 2023, the U.S. has enacted legislation providing at least 12.5 billion in military aid. This includes 3.8 billion from a bill in March 2024 and an additional 8.7 billion from a supplemental appropriations act in April 2024. Nearly all US aid today supports Israel's military, the most advanced in the region. Approximately 3.3 billion a year is provided as grants under the Foreign Military Financing (FMF) program. These funds must be used to purchase U.S. military equipment and services. In October, the Biden administration reported that Israel had nearly 600 active FMS cases, totaling around 24 billion. Wow. So how does Israel use this aid? Historically, Israel has been allowed to use a portion of its FMF aid to buy equipment from Israeli defense firms, a benefit not granted to other U.S. military and recipients. With this, the U.S. also enforces certain conditions on this aid. For instance, under the Leahy law, the U.S. cannot provide security assistance to foreign governments committing gross human rights violations. Critics argue that these regulations haven't always been strictly applied to Israel. Moreover, the Biden administration announced in February 2023 that it would not provide arms to recipients likely to commit serious human rights violations. So, in light of the conflict with Hamas, international scrutiny has increased. The concept of what they call Qualitative Military EdgeFMFand, is central to the U.S. military aid to Israel. Enshrined in the U.S. law in 2008, QME ensures Israel's ability to defeat any credible conventional military threat with minimal damage and casualties. This has guaranteed Israel access to the most sophisticated U.S. military weapons, like the F-35 stealth fighter. Despite these measures, concerns about Israel's heavy assaults on Gaza and its impact on civilians continue to grow. Some leaders and human rights groups have voiced significant concerns, while Israel argues that Hamas uses civilians as human shields. The Biden administration's policies and historical precedents shows that U.S. aid is tied to strict guidelines and monitoring. For example, the Reagan administration banned transfers of cluster munitions to Israel in 1980s after determining they were used on civilian targets. So, in hopes of gaining support, Hamas leaders may have believed they were losing popular support in Gaza. Since the implementation of a semi permanent siege on Gaza in 2007, Israel has controlled much of the electricity, food, and water to the enclave. Gaza has spent half of its day without power since 2019, and 97% of its water is unfit to drink due to outdated infrastructure. With over 70% of families in Gaza dependent on NGO and international aid, Hamas has struggled to maintain its support through government services. So, in hopes of success and losing support, Hamas probably hoped to exploit Israel's response to increase its popularity. Khaled Mashal, one of its political leaders, noted that they knew the consequences of their operation on October 7th. Hamas has historically shown willingness to sacrifice Gazan lives to advance its interests, placing military assets next to civilian infrastructure. In 2023, South Africa filed a case at the International Court of Justice accusing Israel of genocide, a claim denounced by Israel and the United States as unfounded. The International Criminal Court has charged both Hamas and Israeli leaders with multiple war crimes and crimes against humanity. So, as we can see, the U.S. aid to Israel is a very complex issue. It's intertwined with geopolitical strategy, legal frameworks, and humanitarian concerns. And at the end of the day, what we really want to understand is no matter where we are in the world, we are still connected to those that are abroad in other countries because you never know. You're running a business and a customer comes in, and that customer may have a family there, and you never know the pressures they're under. Or you may be the customer and you're going into a business of a person that's trying to make sure that they can send money to support their families that are in these war zones. And it's not just Gaza. There are other countries as well. But this is just bringing light to the fact that there are a lot of humanitarian concerns, and there are a lot of missions that are taking place. A lot of people stepping up around the world to help contribute to making sure that people that are in need, whether they're in your local community and abroad, it's as easy as giving $5 to a resourceful organization that you come across. It's not just the bigger organizations, it's literally finding people that are on the ground and actually helping the people in these countries. And it's the same thing in our local communities, finding the people that are on the ground and actually have their hands shaking with the people, right? Finding those organizations and getting involved. And it's also about volunteering, right? And on that note, thank you so much. This has been a Mindshift Monday, all right? And don't forget to share this with somebody that, you know, should know about it or, anyone. You can subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next week, all right? And turn on that notification bell so you can be updated because we're coming. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Peace.